Greetings to all. I am Vivek Thomas, and my thesis topic is the Indian School of Martial Arts. The hypothetical project is based on the idea of revitalizing and preserving the indigenous martial art forms through architecture. My project presentation mainly is divided into three parts: the study part, conception part, and the final design stage, thereby introducing my project, the Indian School of Martial Arts. Martial arts are a defined system of techniques, both mental and physical part, that can be utilized as an useful means of self-defense and offense. There are a variety of martial arts ranging from Kalaripayattu, Karate, Judo, and etc. In this project, the main focus is on the indigenous martial arts like Kalaripayattu and Silambam and other international art forms which are derived from our native art forms. The benefits of the martial arts are numerous. It helps you to develop the ability to work under pressure, develop your cognitive abilities so you can think faster and clearer, and also it helps you to develop focus and concentration. My thesis project is based on the revamping of an existing martial arts institute in Parashvikal near Parashala, which is called the Kalaril Dharmigam or the Indian School of Martial Arts. About the existing institute, the main art forms practiced in Kalaril Dharmigam is the Kalaripayattu, which is the major art form taught here. Kalaripayattu is having a unique lifestyle and a community of its own here, from preparing their own medicine, Kalari Chikitsa, and also providing courses for the students. But the institute also lacks proper utilization of its available resources. At the same time, it overflows with the rich site features and remote location advantages. But the present state of Kalaril Dharmigam is devastatingly deteriorating. The condition of the buildings are declining structurally and the properly functionable spaces are not available. So, through research and continuous site studies, the state of Kalaril Dharmigam is studied, which leads to the aim of my project. The main aim of the project is to revitalize the indigenous martial art forms through developing a dynamic environment through architecture, which is based through the revamp of this existing institute and also the larger scope in boosting the existing facilities and the expertise available here for the society through my thesis project. Elements for supporting the various design programs for the spaces such as the arena, treatment facilities, accommodation facilities, the canteen, and the administration block are identified and tabulated here. Also included the analysis on the objectives that this project will take upon. Also, the various martial art forms are studied by the difference in culture and lifestyles followed are given below. All these guided in planning the methodology pattern for progressing the project shown in this diagram. Moving on to the next part, which begins with the case studies for understanding the cultural, architectural, and other factors that aid in designing a martial arts institute. 5 case studies were identified and analyzed to procure the inferences required for better understanding the thesis project. The first study is based on a martial arts institute in Poland named Dojo Starvis. This is a unique martial arts institute which combines Japanese architecture style with the Polish landscapes, which is strategically situated on a sloping terrain. The major element of focus in this study is the relationship of the Japanese style features with the sloping terrain, which creates spaces which are interactive with the users as well as the climate of the place. And also for the development of the dojo on the topmost portion of the condor is a prominent feature to be studied and considered for my this project as well. My second study is based on Tokyo Budokan situated in Tokyo, which is a martial arts center larger in scale and provides support of various martial art forms and also works as a venue. The main inferences are observed from the architectural elements influencing the design in the form of its exterior and interior form developments, and also it provides with analysis for the multi-level training areas. The third study is a short study conducted in Government Museum, Bangalore, to observe and analyze on the ancient weapons used in combat and also to study on preserving the martial art weapons. The fourth study is conducted at the Atmakalari village in Malappuram. This is a martial arts institute based in Malappuram having roots from the Vallavinadu era onwards. The traditional Kerala architecture style can be observed from this as well as the Kalaripayattu lifestyle, which is the major element focused. The Atmakalari village has a Kalarimana training area, accommodation facilities and programs required for Kalaripayattu. The major areas of interest from which the inference is observed are the community lifestyle of the Kalaripayattu students and the cultural aspects of Kalari Chikitsa methods, and also the traditional Kerala architecture style that syncs with the community in this Atmakalari village. Architecture style that syncs with the community in this in this Atmakalari village. The last study is based on the AKFC Martial Arts Institute in Bangalore, which is a diverse martial arts institute having courses on various international martial art forms. The study in France helps in understanding the international art form lifestyles, cultures, and the spatial quality that influence the different art forms in a martial arts institute, all of which are followed upon on the design stages in this thesis. Moving on to the next sheet, the comparative analysis matrix. The comparative analysis matrix helps in understanding the relation between art forms and spaces in architecture. The material influences, the architecture styles, and the terrain influence, as well as the influence of the art forms on creating the architecture style, which will be taken into consideration while progressing on the design stage of the thesis project. Moving on to the next stage, the site study and site analysis. The Indian School of Martial Arts is located in Parashuvikal near Parashala, which is 34 kilometers from Trivandrum. The site is 300 meters from the National Highway 66 and easily accessible from the main road. The site is having a total area of 8.5 acres of land, which is distributed over a contour terrain with entry to the site from the upper contour part. Also, the site is having existing structures in it. As the site is already having a functional martial arts institute, the site feasibility becomes more solved. These diagrams show the context layers around the site, as well as the climatic study of the site area. The vegetation in the site covers up almost half of the site. The existing circulation path provides access to almost 25% of the site. The vehicular movement within the site is restricted more compared to the pedestrian pathways on the site. Slope analysis has been done to identify the areas of ridges and valleys and also to maintain the watershed areas. The major factors to be considered are the extent of the agricultural land at the bottom of the site and also the watershed area on the site, which should be preserved for the natural water to drain from the site. A detailed analysis was done to study the existing structures present in the site. And after detailed study, certain buildings were retained, such as the cottages, the kalari, and the temple, which were preserved due to the fact that the rich traditional Kerala style architecture present in them. And also they are the core parts of the Indian School of Martial Arts, which helps in the whole functioning of the institute. From the SWOT analysis, major strength identified was the location and the rich vegetation of the site, and whereas the weakness included the natural drain management while constructing on the site. Moving on to the design program and its users. Users are grouped and identified based on the context as well as the functional need of the average user and classified the users in these aspects, which includes children, athletes, tourists, working people, and etc. Also, the spatial components are identified and tabulated based on the case study analysis as well as the existing features on the site. Photographs of the physical site model are shown. The 1:500 scale model was made to understand the terrain of the site with respect to the building structures existing in it, and also to understand the area of the total site. Moving on to the area programming. The area programming was tabulated by analyzing the requirements of the design programs and its spaces. Also, the spaces analyzed from the case studies were compared with the respective standard areas and tabulated to a total area of 11,353 square meter respectively. Moving on to the next stage, that is zoning. The basic blocks included in the zoning process are the administration, the accommodation block, the Kalari Chikilsa block, martial arts block, arena, canteen and cottage areas, and other spaces. The zoning procedure initially followed a basic proximity matrix, hierarchy charts, and a bubble diagram to identify and analyze the spaces coming in various proximity zones and their respective functions. The arena is located on the higher level on the site to highlight its importance as well as for the easy development of the training spaces around the topmost corner of the site. The accommodation blocks are positioned near the end of the site and also close to the agricultural land due to the calm environment. The Kalari Chikilsa and the accommodation facility is positioned closer to each other so that the users can access the treatment facility nearer to the accommodation facilities. And onwards, a zoning development was followed upon to resolve the access and the preferred orientation profiles based on the many site features, that is, by understanding the sun path, vehicular access, and the proximity of the adjacent buildings. The watershed area on the site was carefully considered to avoid damaging the drain pattern. After considering the various factors like the wind pattern, proximity metric, sun path, and other variables, a basic zoning layout was prepared with these consideration of all the above aspects, and the initial zoning layout is developed. Before reaching the master plan, the special topic is applied as a major design guiding factor for reaching the master plan. For the special topic, the idea focused is symbolizing bamboo in martial arts. Bamboo is a common material in the world of martial arts. Even from the ancient times, bamboo sticks were used for the combats. Every martial art form in the world that uses weapons always start with bamboo canes as the initial weapon of study. For understanding more about the topic, the types of bamboo and the main features of it were studied along with its joinery details. From the spiritual aspect that connects bamboo to the mind of the person, it is said that the hollowness of the bamboo is symbolic of the concept of emptying the mind so that the present mind ability is achieved. Thus, bamboo is not only used as a material in this project, but also to reflect the ideologies of different martial art forms practiced here. This helps in guiding direction towards the design stages of the thesis where it is applied in practice. The master plan of the site is provided with a list of elements as well as the legend of the given layout. The main entry to the site is through this gate from the north direction, which connects the site towards the NH66 after 300 meters. The main gate entry into the site is welcomed with a roundabout with a large lush green tree, which gives the user a sense of calmness. The user can proceed to come to a straight down the road and access the drop off into these three blocks in this area, through which the Kalari and the adjacent blocks can be reached through walking through this pathway. This is the core portion of the site, consisting of the main components, the admin block, the Kalari Chikilsa block, and the martial arts block. After this point, the user can drive back into the parking space provided or reach the arena through this direction. The arena is located far away from the blocks for maintaining a proximity to achieve a calm environment. The accommodation portion of the site is concentrated towards this side where the hostel blocks, cottages, and the existing buildings on the site are present. The existing buildings on the site was a prominent factor to be looked into while zoning the layout. The existing accommodation and the Kalari buildings have been maintained their original positions in the site, and the rest layout was developed around them. These are the 3D aerial view of the site. This section cuts parallel towards the contour directions, showing the Kalari towards the martial arts block. This stretch cut is the main activity area of the site due to the fact that the martial arts, combat training, and training happens in these areas majorly. Next, moving on to the site services and layers. The site services sheet include the layers of the site layout as well. Shown below are the walkways, vehicular paths, agricultural area, pedestrian paths, and vegetation on the site. The major highlights of this sheet include the dense green buffering around the watershed area, which is given to minimize the damage caused on the terrain. Also, the agricultural land on the bottom is allowed to seamlessly merge with the design of the layout so that it can be used as an element for capturing the view towards it from the cottages and the hostels. The canteen is provided with a service road for managing the service transports to occur without any issues. And other basic services like electric posts, pump houses can be seen in this layout with respect to the legend provided. Moving on to the site sections. The site sections were developed to showcase the major features of the site as well as the physical profile of the site. The first section, Section AA. Section AA is cut from the martial arts block to the cottages. Here we can see the pathways leading from the martial arts block to the pavilion in between, where a small bamboo structure is provided for the artists to showcase their talent. And this leads to the cottages. The Kalari Chikilsa and the cottages are adjacent due to the fact that the users will require treatments from the Chikilsa center while they reside in their cottages. The next section, the Section BB. Section BB cuts from the main parking facility near the admin block till the pavilion. The next section CC. The section CC cuts from the main entry gate down towards the bottommost corner of the site. This short section helps in understanding the difference in the level of the blocks. The section DD. The section DD cuts the site horizontally lengthwise, which shows a panorama-like section of the site where gathering space of the hostel blocks can be seen. Moving on to the next sheet, which is the individual block plans. The administration block. The administration block is located at the central portion of the site, which is easily accessible from the main gate. The main entry to the administration block is from this point on the road, which is a drop-off for the admin block. These are the office spaces inside the administration block, and the staircase is positioned on the other side of the block. And the toilet area is placed facing the back of the block to avoid the wrong flow of ventilation of bad odor. In the section AA cuts through in its direction. We can see the activities taking place inside the administration building and also of the immediate environment like the parking spaces of the facility. The most ventilation openings for the admin block have been given with the use of bamboo poles which are used horizontally for better aesthetics and also for maintaining the natural airflow from disrupting. This is a staff-only entry provided on the first floor of the administration building, which is accessed from the main road. The terrace floor is provided with a bamboo roofed structure for shading purpose, and also this area is considered as an informal meeting space for the staff. These are the 3D views of the building. Next is moving on to the next block, which is the arena block. This is the main competitional venue where the special competitional events take place inside the site. The position of this block is on the topmost level on the site. The whole block is resting on 3 contour levels, which is total of 3 meter height. This is a main entry towards the arena block, with a drop-off coming at this point. The drop-off is provided with the staircase access and the ramp access. The reception and the locker facility is provided near the entry portion, from where the access to the next level, that is 2 meter above, is given using both ramp and stair access as well. In the next level 2 meter above, the facilities provided are 2 dojo spaces, that are training spaces or competitional venues with seating for judges, participants and audience. Also, a cafeteria is provided along with the toilet facility that has a locker and changing area facilities. This is a common area point for the participants to gather around and prepare for the respective competitions. The next floor can be accessed through the staircase. The next floor holds guest rooms, office space and also access to watch the competitions from the balcony for the special guests. In the section AA, it can be observed where the balcony portion can be seen. Also, the bamboo openings are given on the side. We can see the double height arena spaces for proper ventilation and lighting. The block is having multiple roof styles with sloping bamboo shingles for the main entry portion and the leaf-like bamboo roof styles for the arena spaces, which adds aesthetics and a sense of natural looks for the structure. These are the 3D views of the building. Moving on to the next individual plan, which is the Kalari Chikitsa block. The Kalari Chikitsa block is situated in the central portion of the site, which is easily accessible from the main road. And also it can be internally accessed from the accommodation facility. The purpose of the block is to provide treatment facilities, especially Kalari Chikitsa, for the users residing in the facility, as well as for the people coming outside who require the Kalari Chikitsa. The main entry to the building is through this point, which is accessible through stairs as well as ramps. The whole building is lying on a 2-level contour and the ground floor can be fully accessed by the ramps. The main reception and the director's room are provided in the front portion based on the functional zoning. The reception area is adjacent to an outlet provided for buying the Kalari Chikitsa medicine. The users coming for treatment can inquire at the reception here and access the consultation rooms provided here, from where the treatment rooms are provided adjacent for better access. The landscapes are provided in between the corridor spaces around these rooms for creating a sense of openness within the building. The corridor spaces are provided with bamboo pole openings with gaps for air circulation and the light entry onto the rooms. In the section AA, the section AA shows the section area where the exterior of the buildings are done with the concrete formwork using bamboo poles to create a rough and seamless appearance for the exterior of the buildings. Also, glass detail is provided on the roofing design to light up the treatment rooms on the first floor. And these are 3D images of the block. Next, moving on to the next individual plan, which is the martial arts block. The martial arts block is a main training facility for the international martial arts as well as the Silambam, the indigenous martial art. The facility can be accessed from the main road through this point using stairs as well as ramps. The front portion is utilized by the office spaces and other finance offices. Whereas the coming into the block, a courtyard is provided with the stairs to the upper floor adjacent to it. The toilet facility is given to the south of the block to buffer the odor from the toilets towards the vegetation present outside it. The main training area is accessible 1 meter down from the main entry level into the building. This training space is largely provided with openings with horizontal bamboo poles as barriers in these openings. This adds the element of natural atmosphere and allows plenty of light and ventilation to circulate inside the training space, which is having a double height ceiling. As we can observe in the section AA, which is cutting from here, the main entry portion can be seen here with a shading device given. This is the reception portion and the training space 1 meter down from the main entry level. In the first floor, a small library is provided. Also, a balcony is provided above the training space which can be accessed from inside the building and also from the exterior. These are the elevation of the south side, and also these are the 3D view of the block on the site. Moving on to the next block, that is the accommodation facility. The accommodation facility consists of 2 blocks for the boys' hostel and the girls' hostel. Both of the blocks are designed on a 3-level contour terrain, and the block is functionally planned on a 3-level contour itself without altering the contour or damaging the terrain. Moving on to the next topic, which is the additional structures on the site. These are the additional structures in the site, which includes the martial arts cluster, which consists of the pavilion, the Kalari medicine lab and the Kalari, and also about the cottages. The pavilion. The pavilion is a structure made from bamboo, which is used for conducting martial arts on the ground surface rather than the indoor facilities. They are positioned along with the martial arts block for their proper functioning. A basic 3D structure diagram is shown below. The Kalari Medicine Lab. The Kalari Medicine Lab functions as the main source of medicine for the Kalari Chikitsa Center. The Kalari Chikitsa Lab holds the medicinal gardens and spaces for collecting and making the medicines. The structure is made from bamboo fully and the structure diagram is shown below. Next is the canteen block. The canteen is provided at a position which is easily accessible for everyone on the institute. And also the canteen block is having a level height of 1 meter from the ground level point. So it is accessed using ramps, and also the service for the canteen is provided from the main road connection through a service road. Next are the cottages. The cottages are provided for users undergoing treatment in Kalari Chikitsa Center. Total of 5 cottages are provided with double occupancies, and this is the typical layout of the cottages shown below. and also the elevation of the cottages are shown.